Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to work on this 81 Fender Princeton Reverb. It's 40 years old, so it obviously needs some work, and I'll walk you through it. Let's get going. Okay, I opened up the amp. It appears to be all original. All the parts seem to be original. I can't see any sign that anyone already worked on this amp before. So, seems like this came like this 40 years ago from the factory. I checked all the transformers, all the date codes, they date to 81, so this is one of the last Princetons. So Fender stopped producing them in the year of 81. You can also see it here that this is a late Princeton Reverb. This has the push-pull volume over here. What I already did is I fixed a really bad squeal that I had when I turned this amp on. What I found out is there were two loose ground connections over here, which caused the squeal. So I resoldered them over here and fixed the squeal by doing that. So that's done. But what we're also going to do is some general maintenance for this amp. So these electrolytic caps over here, 5 in total on this Princeton Reverb circuit, and another one over here for the bias. And then the big cap can over here, we're going to change that. That's general maintenance that we need to do on older amps. Also, what we're going to do is to replace this 1K voltage dropping resistor over here. Not sure if you can see it on the camera, probably not. Let me zoom in a bit, maybe you can see it. As you can see over here, this one is broken. It's dark, it's burned and also broken, so actually in 2 pieces. So we're going to replace that. Wondering how this amp can still work with the broken voltage dropping resistor over here. Also, what we're going to do is to replace the depth cap over here. That's not needed here anymore with modern safety standards. So when I measured the voltages and the resistors, etc., and compared it to the schematic, I noticed that 2 of the preamp stages had voltages on the grid. That shouldn't be the case. Preamp grids shouldn't have any voltages on them, so we probably have leaking coupling caps, so we're going to replace the caps. Safety first, so what I'm going to do first is I will discharge the big cap can capacitor over here. What I use is I use my little tool that I built here, so I'm going to mount one end of this tool to the chassis and then unload the cap can over here. So I just touch it for a few seconds. Let's make sure. I shouldn't read any voltages on this, on the cap can. No, so let's see. Yeah. 0. Good, so we can work safely. Let's check the fuse first before we unsolder any parts here. So this amp should have a 1 amp fuse. Let's see. This is a 2 amp fuse. Let's see if you can see it over here. Can't get it in focus, but believe me, this is a 2 amp fuse. It should be a 1 amp fuse. So let's replace it with a 1 amp fuse, like it's supposed to. All right. Okay, let's remove all the wires and this voltage dropping resistor from the cap can over here first. Yep. It's the first time that I take videos of myself while working on an amp. Makes it a little bit harder. Try not to move the camera or touch the camera tripod while I work here. Okay, all the wires removed. The resistor is next. One leg gone. Second leg gone. So here it is. Okay, so next we're going to remove this cap can over here. This cap can is attached to the chassis with 4 tabs. 2 of them are soldered to the chassis, so I'll bend these 2 up first. So these are the easy ones. The other 2 are soldered to the chassis. Got it. So tab number 1 is open. Good. Took quite some time. That's how it is sometimes. Second one. Let's see if this one is easier. Yeah. Okay. The cap is gone. So this is the cap can that we just removed. It's a Mallory 4 times 20 microfarads. This one is very, very likely original, so from 81. Okay, so let's clean this up first and then we're going to resolder the new cap can. So let's suck some of this solder up first. We will use new solder for the new cap can. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm using some alcohol to remove the flux over here so it's nice and shiny again. Probably don't have to do this, but I just like my things nice. If it looks nice. I'm probably going to clean the other solder joints later on. Next step, we will install the new cap can. I got the replacement over here versus the original. Same capacitance, higher voltage rating, and noticeably smaller, as you can see. So let's put it in there. Okay, I'm going to put it this way so that I can still, or anyone else can still read capacitance and voltage rating from the back of the amp. So bend these tabs. Last one over here. Beautiful. Alright. I'll leave it in this position. Now let's resolder that. Much easier now with the clean surface. So as previously mentioned, this voltage dropping resistor over here is burned, so we're also going to replace that one now. So let's unsolder it. Need some more solder in here to freshen it up a bit. I need this later on. So next step, we're going to put this new 1K resistor in here and this 18K resistor back here. Okay, so now we're going to remove the remaining 5 electrolytic caps over here and another one over here. I'll start with these ones first, these silver glowing ones, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one over here. I'll spare you to show you how I do it. I'll just show you a before and a after. And then after that we're going to do this one. This is the after. All the 5 electrolytics are replaced, as you can see over here. One point worth noting is, or actually 2 points, I like to put the caps in here in a way that I can still read the capacitance and the voltage rating. Makes it easier for the next one who will work on this amp. And second topic is, as you can see here, these caps, they are polarized, so they have a plus and a minus. The minus should always point into the point to the ground. So as you can see here, this goes to ground, this goes to ground. Same for the other ones. So here we got the last electrolytic for the bias board. I'm going to remove the entire bias board, otherwise it's getting pretty hard to work in this tiny space. So this is the part, 70 microfarads, 100 volts. I'm going to replace it with this one, 100 microfarads, 100 volts. So let's put this back in and then do the final soldering. Okay, ground connection. Alright, the bias board is done. Really a lot of wires in this amp, so I decided I will remove the dead cat completely, including this lug over here. I will just leave the ground switch over here in there, otherwise I would have a hole in the chassis. So let's do that first. Here it is. I'll clean this up later, so let's rewire the power over here right now. So I'll keep this auxiliary power socket in the circuit, because why not? So next, this is hot. Hot will go over here to the fuse. From the fuse to the power switch. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do the neutral, the white wire. So now we're finished the power wiring. Hot wire, the black one, goes to the auxiliary socket. From there to the fuse, through the fuse to the switch, from the switch to the power transformer, through the neutral white wire back out of the power transformer to the auxiliary socket, and then back to the wall. I mentioned earlier in the video that I have two leaking caps. It's actually just one. If we see here. So I removed the tube on V4 already. With the tube I measured around 25 volts DC on pin 7, so on the grid. Without it it's 1.5 volts. So this cap is leaking and needs to be replaced. Of course we start to discharge the filter cap first. So this is the one, 22 microfarads, 600 volts. It's going to be replaced with another one. This one, 22 microfarads, 630 volts. And for these caps, they are not polarized, so it doesn't matter if you turn it this way or this way. Next step, we power it on again, remeasure the voltages, and now we should read 0 volts. So as you can see, 0 volts. That's what we want. Let's wrap this up. What did we do? We changed the filter cap over here. We changed all the electrolytics over here and here. We replaced the leaking coupling cap over here, we removed the death cap over here and bypassed the ground switch. And what I did also is I cleaned up the solder joints over here. And over here there was a lot of flux, it's just ugly. So I removed that with this chopstick here, Asian style. So we can close this back up and then enjoy how it sounds. Thanks for watching my video.